Let the whole world know.
Hello and welcome to the Talk Football podcast. This is TFP #13, and today I am over the moon and privileged to say we are joined by a current serving football manager, Mr. Tommy Haddon from, I will say it correctly, Ringmer AFC, because I don't want to piss off the fans.
Correct.
Welcome, Tommy.
Thank you very much for having me. Much appreciated. Very excited to come on. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Now, Tommy has his own page on TikTok. It's called Mind of a Gaffer. So Adam will put links and pop-ups on the screen. So make sure you please go and follow Tommy on there as well. I've watched quite a bit of his videos on there now and become a bit of a stalker.
Not the only one, don't worry.
You know, aren't we all these days on social media? We're all stalkers.
Yeah, absolutely. We all scroll through things, don't we, and end up on weird pages and stuff. I shouldn't say
weird
that. But yeah.
You know, some of them you
rabbit
sign
holes.
up these
Rabbit
days,
holes.
and yeah.
It's worse, it's worse when you're in bed scrolling through, because I sit there and my phone's on my face half the time.
We won't talk about your bed habits anyway. So we're going to start off, and we're going to start off with Tommy's journey through football and how he's ended up where he is now. So over to you.
Well, I didn't really play football until I was in my teens. I started just at school, knocking about in the playground. But, you know, as you do at lunch break, jumpers for goalposts. You know, the quote a fast show quote there. Literally, jumpers, goalposts out in the great show in the rain, just knocking about, and I didn't play for any teams until I was 17, 18 when I left school. I didn't really know about it. I followed football. My old man took me to Palace when I was 10, 11 years old, something like that. So I was a Palace fan. Yeah. Watched the old Jamie Vardy Eagle. Yeah. I watched Match of the Day with my dad on a Saturday night. Always enjoyed doing that, but never really played. I didn't know there was teams. I thought that it was only, much like many people, I suppose, just professional, and that's all you had, right? I didn't realise there's this whole other pyramid of non-league, grassroots, and even down to your kids knocking about, just having your mates make a team with their dad, right? I didn't know any of that. And then when I left school, my cousin who was in the team, he's a bit older than me, he was in his, I think, late 20s, and I was only 17, 18, and said, do you want to come play for this local team? And I was like, yeah, I'll come down, and fell in love with it really ever since then, and really enjoyed playing. I do really miss playing. It's something that I always say to young lads who say to me, I might take a year out, I'm not really enjoying my football. Don't, just go and find something. There will be somewhere where you can go and enjoy your football, right? Just because you don't like it at such a club or such a level, go and find a level where you can, because playing is so short, right? Like I retired at sort of 36, so I got 18 years-ish of playing, which was great, and had, touch wood, no major injuries other than one knee injury. And yeah, I loved it. Played at one club for 9 years called White Knight in Eastbourne. Before then, moving clubs a little bit, because I sort of they'd reached a level where I wasn't quite good enough, and bounced around a bit, and then moved to a Brighton club, and met my wife through that. She moved me to Brighton, then ended up playing. Yeah, end up joining a local team over there, and met some really good friends, and met my assistant manager, who's with me now, who's been with me for, this is our 10th season, I think, together now, John Hart. And that's when, 10 years we've been doing this. We've come a long way. We've come all the way from a very low level of Div 5 South, mid Sussex football here, right through to Step 6. So a long journey together, and really, reaping the rewards now of having got to where we wanted to be, kind of thing. That's where I started my managerial stuff, was at the Brighton club called Montpellier Villa. I started as a 13 gaffer when I was 30, so I'm 42 now. So 12 years as a gaffer, and I didn't really ever think about being a manager. I upset a few managers in my time.
We never actually crossed your mind, though.
Not like Liam Rosini, not drawing pictures of managers and sticking on your wall.
Yeah, not quite that, but there was a few moments where I'd upset a few people, didn't really get on with them, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, Adam, to answer your question, I've never I never really thought of it. I didn't really think about being a manager. I run my own business since I was 21, so kind of was always my own person and wanted to be my own leader, sort of thing. If you know what I mean, I didn't really work under someone all the time, and I suppose then management kind of became fairly obvious at 30 when I got offered it. It was like, do you want to take the third team because basically nobody else wants it, and you're one of the older lads down there, and do you want to do it? Yeah, go on then. I'll have a go at it, and I absolutely have loved every single minute. Even now, I can't wait for training. I can't wait for match days. I can't wait for friendlies. I think about football all the time. I talk about football all the time. I'm sure you guys do the same, and anyone in non-league, I'm sure, is exactly the same. You just live and breathe it, right? I live and breathe football and football management. It's a bit, it changed the way I watched professional football a little bit. That's maybe dipped off a bit. My love for Palace is still there, but I don't watch Match of the Day anymore. I don't watch on TV so much because I find it's quite detached. It's not that I'm trying to sound like a knob here. What I'm trying to say is that do you know what I mean? That football is so far from where we are. They're almost perfect footballers, aren't they, in the Premier League? They're programmed not to make a mistake. They're programmed to be. That's why it's become quite robotic, I think, for some people. It's very perfect.
It's become
football.
Boring. It has become boring.
Yeah, because it's perfect.
Premier League football is boring.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of a knock-on effect from that Pep era, possession, don't get the ball away. Which quite weirdly, because like I said, I mean, like I said before we came on, like I went to Carshalton and they were trying to play out from the back and trying to play it on the deck and stuff like that. And I'm like, and the 2 goals that they conceded came from direct mistakes from trying to play it out the back. And it's almost like you're starting to see that. I don't know if you experienced that, but like starting to see that now filter through into like lower league football and that as well.
Yeah, Mikulova do the same. I mean, they try it, but it never works. It's just a completely different level of football.
But we play out from the back. My lads will say, I can't stand a long ball. Anything longer than 40 yards, unless it's a direct pass through, I can't stand it. But we're not perfect at it. But that's why people come and watch it, because they know there might be a mistake. The Oppo might make a mistake. We might make a mistake. What I'm trying to say about the Premier League is that it's so perfect. They're so well programmed now. They're so good at what they do that it does become boring to watch. Maybe if you're in football at certain levels like we are, or like you guys are, you watch it and I'm in it. You want that mistake. You want that anything could happen
realism.
Moment, right? Yeah, realism. Exactly that, Hodgie. Realism. And I started my journey there, and it was a long. I mean, some of the places I played on in Div 5 South, as you can imagine, were like, one man and his dog, and that was lucky. That was a good turnout, and that was a really good turnout on a field that was horrendous. And we just started our journey there for local parks, Adam, local schools, local 3Gs. You're getting changed.
Your typical rec
centres.
Yeah,
you're getting changed on the side of the pitch, and people are coming off the pitch as you're walking on. You're having to clear people off, stop kids playing on it to play your game. And to where we are now is just an amazing achievement.
It's a bit like my local one here. They're called AFC Mackworth, and they do it on the local park, literally up the top from where I live. And they do that every Sunday. It's a bit like that. How you started then, was it?
Exactly that. I started local parks, middle of nowhere, and then I moved to a club called Ditchling, which is a very, very small village near a town called Lewis down here.
It was a very
Brighton,
big hill.
Probably like 15 minutes. It's got a very big hill outside there. Very big hill you cycle up. Lots of people cycle up that for fun. I don't know why that's fun, but apparently, really, there you go then, Hodgie. Yeah, so you know it well.
Yeah, twice.
And I got offered the chance. Really? Yeah, it's some hill, isn't it? I got offered the chance to take over the club as a first team role, and an opportunity, having been at Montpellier for like 4 or 5 years. And I'd met John Hart at this point, my assistant. Like I say, I got a good core of players at this point. A captain who's still with me now, has come all that way as well. Still my captain. We moved there and built our own club. Again, still though playing on park pitches. We did our own sort of clubhouse, which we shared with the cricket ground. It was a local parish run pitch, local parish run facility. It was good, really good. We won lots of leagues and lots of cups, and that's where we sort of made our name. Not made our name because it doesn't sound like famous, but we built our brand, built our
your
idea of how
reputation.
we want to. Yeah, built reputation, built our brand, built how we want to do things, how we want to play. And Ringmer is a massive club at this point anyway. They were already in the non-league, and then the old club unfortunately went bankrupt. They had to sell their grounds. They built houses on it. Then the Ringmer AFC that I'm at now is a rebirth of two clubs together in a brand new 4G facility, purpose-built stadium for them. Part of the deal with something to do with the housing that was before me. But they were a big club, and I knew of them. And then we were creeping up towards the Prem. And Ringmer were in the Prem at this point, but struggling, and the job came available. And I said, look, my assistant said to me, look, I'm going to move on. I've had enough. And I was like, okay, I need to go up the leagues. I feel like I've done this level. And I said, cool. And then Ringmer became available about 2 weeks later, and we're still working together. He's going to leave at the end of the season. And he said, look, if you go here, I'll come with you. And if we get it, I'll go there. I was like, okay, cool. Applied for it. Lots of people applied for it. I think about 18 people at the time applied for it. Some big names as well around Sussex. Yeah. Some big names that had better CVs than me and me and Hart. But I think they just loved us from minute one. I like to talk, as we can tell, and we'll see. And I think they loved the enthusiasm, and you can feel the love,
the
for
passion. They can feel that coming through.
The passion for it, and they loved it, and they wanted to build something. And I said, well, I'm all about that. I'm a builder in my life anyway, as a bricklayer. And I said, I build football clubs. I'd love to do it. Yeah, and I got offered the role, and that was 3 years ago. We won the league in the first season, which was absolutely incredible to win the Prem. Had a slight knockback where the committee voted no to going up, because you have to apply to go up into non-league. You don't get promoted.
Okay.
You have to, I don't know if you know, but I'm sure it's the same way you guys are. You have to be in step 7. You have to be in the top 5 of that division. You have to have the qualifying facilities, have to finish above any other team that applies.
Yeah.
They said no that season. I then said to the lads, well, let's make a point and go and win the league. And they did. They went and won the league, and they were excellent. Then last season, bit of a poor start. Really struggled to get going. I think the hangover of the no vote and also winning the league, I think the enthusiasm had not died, but flattened off.
Yeah,
but then we did finally get. Yeah, it did, and for all of us, right? And I said to them, look, this summer, that if we're going to stay and continue this journey, we need to have confidence in what we're going to do. And they said, yeah, look, this year we'll hopefully, we'll bring good things, and the vote will go the right way, and it did. And we end up finishing, we ended up finishing 4th in the end, but so got up. And look, non-league has been absolutely fantastic. It's been a hell of a journey so far. I've really enjoyed every minute. There's been some highs. There's been some. Go on, Adam.
Sorry. When you took over, after you obviously got the job, was you nervous at all? Any nerves there, or any kind of like, am I regretting this, etc., or not?
Yeah. Did it feel like a big step up?
Yeah. That's the question.
That's a great question. That's a really good question. Yeah. Yes. Well, every time we won a league with Ditchling, our previous club, we'd go into the next league above, obviously, right? So every time we won a league, we'd go from until it got to Div 1, it was Div 2 South, Div 3 South. You go into the southern divisions, then it went to 1, and it would go into a whole county division. Every time we went up a league, it was like, oh, this one's going to be really hard. This one, and it was. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being arrogant here or anything like that. They were tough divisions, but it wasn't always as tough as we thought. And there was always nerves again at the beginning of those seasons of like, oh, how are we going to fare? How are we going to sit? When we got to Ringmer, because of the size of the club, we're going from Ditchling. There's no disrespect to Ditchling. I've got a lot of time for them. We were going from, again, as I said, a hut on a field with 3 people watching, 4 people, girlfriends would turn up. So it'd be 4 or 5 of us watching. You'd know everybody. That was it. Ringmer, averaging at the time probably about 40 to 50 people. Plus the club was, it has 6 senior teams, which I oversee all of them. I'm the director or the head coach, if you like. So I oversee roughly about just under 160 players. So when I turned up for my first, it's a lot. When I turned up for my first pre-season session, I was nervous, Adam. Yeah, it was. I was nervous, excited. lack confidence as a person. I'm quite happy to walk into a room full of people that I don't know and be like, hey, like, what we're going to do, you know, how is this going? And that was kind of the case there. I walked at my first pre-season session, there was around 82 people. Bearing in mind, I probably knew 20 of them from my previous club.
Yeah.
So you have to whittle that down to a squad of 25 that I want to work closely with. And that was probably less nervous, more like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to come across as professional to these new lads as possible? Also find the squad we want to work with, and also carry our professionalism at the same time without looking frantic and overwhelmed.
The thing is, I bet you don't upset anybody either, do you?
There's that as well. You know, you're going into a new club,
Yeah.
you want to try and keep some
The last
harmony.
thing you want to do is lose the dressing room, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing. The first team had a bit of a. They finished 12th that previous season, so they were having a bit of a struggle when they thought they were going to go straight back up, and they didn't. So it was a bit of a there was a bit of a apprehension in the air. But once people saw what we were about, me and Hart as a management team, and how we did things, they soon realised that we have standards, we have levels, and we expect standards and levels from each other and from them.
Yeah.
And once they realised that we you know, once you settle someone down and you realise actually these guys may have a little bit clear what they're doing, and you give them confidence, they then settle into themselves. They start to believe, right?
Yeah, love that. Well,
I'm just intrigued how it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, mate. Honestly,
it's
I'm fascinated. I mean, the thing that I never when I first started doing this, the idea was like I was going to go to like some Chelsea games. I might go to one or two other games and all that. Maybe like, you know, Championship and some League One games. And there isn't, for particularly if you're a small like podcasters like we are, you don't get that access. And then I've got so many non-league clubs that are so close to me that I went out and, you know, obviously me and Adam had been to Mikulova and we liked that, and we did a couple of little like videos just on our own personal things. But we found that we had a level of access that you just don't get at any kind of other high levels. And that's what I love. But I never realised until that point where I started going to the non-league games, actually how deep, to me, I thought it was just like part-time manager, part-time players, you know, you've got a little bit of a fence around a football pitch. I never really saw or understood the actual level of the infrastructure. And exactly. When I started watching more non-league, that just blew my mind.
Well, is that again going from Ditchling, where I was the head coach and manager of the club, we had a chairman above us who we put in place. John Hart, my assistant, was the secretary, was the guy who dealt with finances until we put a finance guy in place. I was the one that dealt with sponsorship. We ran everything. There was nobody else other than me and him running that club. There was a couple of people that we brought in eventually that helped us, but there was a core of, by the time we left, it was a core of, say, 4 or 5. You go to Ringmer, we've got a committee full of Network. 8 people. Then you've got the bar staff, you've got all the volunteers, the other managers. I mean, the amount of staff that work around the club are just, it's incredible, right? And match days now, where we've gone into non-league, so into step 6, that alone is just, you know, it's just a mountain of people, and it doesn't work without those volunteers and those people. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, stepping from where we have step 7 to now into step 6 is a massive, humongous step up to running the club. You know, we wouldn't be where we are without them to help us do the gates, the stewarding, the car parks, the looking after the pitch. You know, there's a guy that goes on the tractor, and because we've got a 4G pitch, he goes and does all the swirls, and the Leicester guy, and does all the little bit diamonds in it and stuff like that. And you know, again, those sorts of people, they're massively important, right? And then I've obviously built our coaching staff, not just me and Hart anymore. John Hart is now Ollie Gibson, another guy called Jamie Bucket, Leon Morris, my goalkeeper coach. I've got a physio called Lydia, and a strength conditioning girl called Tabitha. You know, them two are massively important to the setup, as well as an analytic guy. We've got an analytic guy, Charlie, we've got a balcony on our clubhouse. It looks down onto you can walk out the bar through double doors onto a balcony. So you've got a great vantage point of the pitch. It's always full on match days. He will stand up there and he'll message Hart or Leon during games, because he's got the VO set up with an iPad, and he'll run about the Oppo and stuff. I mean, that's come on from where if I go back 4 years, even just free, it's just mind blowing to where we've got to. And we're only step 6.
Yeah, and saying that, Mikkelever do the same. They've got like a opposite where the main stand. They've got like a big it's where the hospitality is, and it's got like a big stand above it. And the manager stands up there sometimes because he gets a better view of the pitch. Because I says, why do you stand up there? And he says, because I like to see what a bit of better view of the pitch and a bit of view of what my players are doing. He says, and then I can pass it on down to the bottom. He says, and then at second half he comes down then and he gets control. It's just a new thing he's done this season. It's weird. I've never seen him do it, and now you've said it.
Yeah, see, now
I'm realizing why he's doing it.
I'd like to do that, but if I went on the balcony on match day, I'd just be badgered by everybody right centre. But my analytic guy, he can go up there, Charlie, and he can message us, and it's just so good to have that vantage point where he can go, that number 10's dropping into this inside pocket. That's where he's causing you problems. You need to, follow him or push someone onto him, and those little things from where we've come, which was, where I come back to answer the original question of how far I've come. It's incredible, and the journey has been unbelievable. And I think non-league people, like you said before, are going back to saying about the Premier League being out of touch now. I think the whole people can talk to you as well. I always I come out the tunnel and I walk down the side of the pitch and I say hello to the regulars that are always coming, the mums, dads, girlfriends, friends that are watching. I know their names. I go and say hello. Even the away supporters, if they bought their couple of them down, you know who they are. Normally I say hello to them and I wander back across the pitch. That it just makes it feel part of, like, you're part of something, and that to me is why I enjoy doing it as well. And
it makes you appreciate the fans as well for what they come and watch.
Yeah,
they come and watch you. They're
paying.
helping you as a manager as well. At the end of the day, they're paying.
Absolutely.
They're helping
And
the club, building the club up.
And this is the first season we've had paying fans. Last season we didn't charge. This season we charge because we have to. The FA say you have to charge a minimum of £6, so we have to charge £6. We're worried about attendances. We're averaging 103 at the minute, which is unbelievable. So good that we get 103 people. I mean, our biggest attendance was 200 and something, 10, I think, 230 something in an FA Vars game. Some midweek games we've got up to 160, 170, which has been really, really good. And it's great to play in front of the noise when we score, and it's great to play in front of that. And feeds you the fuel to continue. Yeah, it feels I want to go high. I want to keep going. I want to push. The next goal will be, I want to manage in the FA Cup. One more league and we can get in the FA Cup preliminary rounds. I want to do that. That would be what a thing to say that you've managed in the FA Cup would be. Just the FA Vars this season against Tooting and Mitcham United was just a moment. I loved it. It was special.
My local.
So they're not far. You're not far off Mikkelever's standards, then, to be fair, because they're in the preliminary rounds. They've just dropped from the Prem to the lower league, the league below. In the pitching,
so they're step 5 and we're step 6.
Yeah.
So we won below where they are. No, and that's been the journey to this point. And I could talk about the love of. Again, the playing thing. Just if you can play, just play as long as you can. I do miss that, but the managing side of it does give me that buzz still. I mean, I was a striker. I scored goals. I enjoyed doing that. When the ball hit the net, it was good. Yeah, it was good fun when the ball hit the net. And that buzz, when I retired, I missed that little buzz. But the management side of it brings you that, especially when you see one of your training moves pull off or a young lad come on and have a moment. Those are the moments you look back and go, that was worth it.
Yeah. Seeing the smile on the face as well, I bet as well.
There we go.
Yeah, lads enjoy.
I think that's a great time to end part 1.
Yes, but
I'll hold you there. I'll hold you there.
One quick question before you go. Being a gamer myself, right? Do you play Football Manager?
You're gonna love this. I don't play Football Manager, but I play Championship Manager. Before we came on here, I was playing Championship Manager. I religiously play Championship Manager. I play the 01-02 season though, and the 01-02 without the patch on, the original 60. Is it 396 60 game? Yeah.
Yeah, some 68, something like that, at the end. Yeah, it's the
not 68. I played a 60 version, not the 68. Yeah.
Oh, the original then.
Yeah, the old database. Yeah, I love it. I can't. I just can't get off of it.
He tells me off about time, and
I just had to get that in right towards the end.
Oh dear,
I love it.
Yes, all right.
I love it.
We'll break there for so. We'll make sure that you'll come back for part 2. We're keeping Tommy as long as we can, and but yeah, come back in part 2, and we'll get on to talking about the challenges of actually like operating and managing at this level, on a slightly deeper level, with his club Ringmer AFC. So yes, stay tuned for part 2, people. Don't go anywhere, or else we'll be after you.